Ladies and gentlemen, happy New Year's Eve to you. I genuinely hope that all of you have some exciting plans this evening with your friends, with your family. I advise that you make the good decisions tonight, okay? No drinking and driving, obviously, and just don't do anything Dan Mitchell wouldn't do. Fun fact, I'm going to be in bed more than likely at 10 p.m. I'm probably going to watch a little football today once the stream is over. I'm going to cap the night off with the finale of Stranger Things, if you will. But yeah, dude, New Year's Eve, crazy year in 2025. And I'm going to kind of give you guys a little spiel a bit later in this episode to kind of let you know how thankful I am for each and every single one of you, making 2025 probably one of the best years I have ever had, at least from a professional standpoint. But got to get down to business. The big question becomes, who in the hell are the Buffalo Bills playing in the first round of wildcard weekend? Now, a lot of us probably have heard a couple of teams here and there, but I mean, y'all know I'm a numbers guy. I'm a percentage guy. I want to know what the percentage chance of each and every single possible opponent that can happen in just about a week and a half. I'm excited to dive into it. I really am. As always, I ask each and every single one of you to hit that thumbs up sign as you're coming in, and then also roll call in the chat. I want to talk to everybody that's lurking on this video. My goal is to have at least somebody who has never commented in the live chat to actually contribute and let me know where Bills Mafia truly extends to. Newbies, do not be shy. Let me know. Where are you tuning in from? I want to see everybody in here start participating, man. Everybody, where are you tuning in from? Guys, we need to give a giant shout out to a couple of our proud partners right before we end up getting into the nitty gritty. Okay, we're going to start off with our good friend over here at William Matar. Folks, if you are ever hurt in a car, you have to call William Matar, #1 car accident attorney in the state of New York. I would not wish a car accident on anybody, but say, for example, that it does happen to you, you need to have this guy and this guy's phone number top of mind. Shout out to William Matar, proud partner of the show, extended all the way until next December. Shout out, William, for being the proud partner that we all know and love. Guys, who wants Super Bowl tickets? Who would like Super Bowl tickets? How does that sound? Well, let me tell you what. I've recently partnered with a personal finance application that not only ends up tracking all of your expenses, it gives you an opportunity to win some of your expenses back. I know, it's crazy. And they're even coming out with a credit card January with 100% cash back. But that's not what you care about. What you care about is them damn Super Bowl tickets. How do you get it done? When you end up signing up for Covered, folks, the link is in the bio, okay? Or, excuse me, link's in description. You go there, sign up, and then I want you to hit the events tab. You are going to see the Super Bowl ticket contest. What you're going to do, it's free to sign up for it. You're going to click it, you're going to enter, and you're going to play one of those games that you guys would typically play back when you were in 8th grade or something, and it was like 3 days before summer vacation. You know what I'm talking about? Like that helicopter game or whatever? Like you're trying to avoid some of the like obstacles around you. Your highest score depends on where you're placed. And guys, I got to tell you right now, there are only 100 people that have joined this contest. Okay. Only 100 people. This is a $10,000 value right now, folks. You got to be in it to win it. So say, for example, that you would like to at least put your name in the hat for potential Super Bowl LX tickets. Go sign up for the Covered app, guys. Link is in description. It's the very first one. Do not miss out on this opportunity, man. Damn, baby. Let's go ahead and get into it. Where is everyone tapping into? Let's go on ahead and get into business. Let me go on ahead and put this link in here for my boy Coldfront so we can start chopping it up a little bit about the Buffalo damn Bills. Where's everyone tapping into? Let's go on ahead and talk to it. Cheek to Vegas is in the building. Badass merch. What up, dude? Cheek to Vegas, man. Love to hear it. Windsor, Ontario is in the building. Guys, I'm telling you, do not be shy. Where are you tuning in from? Eastside Buffalo. Zeke, what's going on, my friend? Dallas, Salem, Virginia, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Snowy, Hornell, New York, Windsor Ballet, Happy New Year, Monticello, New York. Me, he wants to go to the Super Bowl. Give you objective takes on the MVP. Don't be biased. Don't tell me what to do, young man. Vancouver, Washington is in the building. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma is in here. Deerfield, New York, New York in Bills country, England, UK. Damo, what's up, man? Gowanda, New York, Chattanooga, Tennessee as well. Dawson Bailey, what's going on with you, man? All right, let's talk playoffs, man, right? Because none of us are really looking forward to this Jets game on Sunday. Maybe some of us are looking forward to it because it's going to be the final game at Highmark. I suppose nostalgia is going to play a role. But where it stands today, I imagine we'll probably start to get even more hints on whether or not what kind of starter action we're going to see. But I would be shocked, and I would think that it would be just pure front office and coaching staff malpractice if you rolled out any contributing starter on this game. I understand that Josh Allen has this role or whatever, or he has this streak with most continuous starts in NFL games. I'm fine with doing exactly what we did last year. Roll them out for one snap only, hand the football off to Ray Davis, hand the football off to Ty Johnson, and then that's it. I want the entire backup offensive line out there. Show me what Cedric Van Pran Granger has at the center position. Show me what some of these other guys have on the interior, because Buffalo, funny enough, going into next offseason, 2 of our interior offensive linemen are pending free agents. So wouldn't it be nice to see some rookies that could potentially step up and fill that role for the future? Absolutely. As far as defensive players as well, same thing. All right. Backup defensive line for the most part, some Deion Walker action. Let him get some reps. Let TJ Sanders actually get some reps. Do me a favor and elevate. Same thing with Matthew Judon for some reps as well. See what he has in him for a potential playoff run. I don't care about seeing starters. I haven't even wasted my time attempting to preview this game. I really don't. And don't even sleep on the fact that Buffalo still could potentially, beat the New York Jets with their backups. I'm not even completely putting that out of the equation, because the New York Jets perhaps might be one of the worst teams ever put together in NFL history. I would not be shocked in the slightest. But at the end of the day, and this is a hot button topic, and you have every right to completely disagree with me on this, I don't give a shit about seeding. I don't give a shit about seeding. It's the playoffs. Every single team we play is good. It's how it is. It's time for this Buffalo Bills team to step up. I don't care if we're playing the Patriots. I don't care if we're playing the Texans. I don't care if we're playing the Jaguars, whatever. No effing excuses. Notice how I censored myself right there, folks. This is now a family-friendly channel. Isn't that a beauty? But anyway, I've gone on ahead and I've actually put together exactly what I think, never mind, not what I think, based off of percentages. What are the Buffalo Bills going to be seeing going into the playoffs? Well, I'm going to tell you. I ran over 25,000 simulations from FTN Fantasy based off of potential seeding, based off of all of the potential outcomes going into Week 18, and I have come across this list. Top 6, if you will. The 6th most likely opponent, Houston Texans. That would require the Houston Texans, of course, to win the AFC South, meaning that we need Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans to take down the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we would need the Houston Texans to take down Riley Leonard, amongst some other things I believe that needs to occur. But it is the lowest possibility, 5.3%, we'd be going into NRG. The 5th most likely is the Denver Broncos, surprisingly enough. Damn right. That would require Trey Lance and the LA Chargers to pull off an upset in Denver. All right. And the Patriots would also need to win for the Patriots to ultimately end up taking that overall first seed, or even the Jacksonville Jaguars in some super funky playoff scenario roller coaster that could potentially happen. But the Broncos could potentially be your 2nd seed going into the playoffs. And if Buffalo is the 7th, it's Denver. 4th most likely is the Ravens. 3rd most likely is the Steelers. I don't think either of these are going to happen. I suppose percentage-wise, it's more likely than Broncos and or Texans. But who's going to win that game? Who's going to win the AFC North? Is Lamar Jackson playing? Is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to lead this Steelers team with no DK Metcalf, no TJ Watt? It's looking like, I don't know. This would require us to be the 5th seed, though, and a lot needs to happen for the Buffalo Bills to be the 5th seed. A lot of things out of our control, if you will. Number 2 is the Patriots, 21.6%. That would mean that they are your 2nd seed, and the Buffalo Bills are your 7th seed. Buffalo is the 7th seed if the Jaguars, the Houston Texans, and I want to say the Patriots end up winning. All 3 of those teams win. No, Patriots, no. Jaguars, Texans, Jags, Texans, and the Chargers all need to win their games if the Buffalo Bills are your 7th seed. So that's still at 21.6%. Where it stands, the only game that's really, I guess, up in the air would be the Chargers and the Denver Broncos. Then we would end up going to New England and playing them at 21.6%. But the first most likely playoff opponent, wildcard weekend, is your Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm not lying to you, I have already started looking at hotels. I have already started looking at a couple of tickets that were for sale. Surprisingly enough, Jacksonville already has these for sale. I am so close to pulling the trigger. Like, that is how confident I am that this is going to be the matchup for the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So a lot could happen. It is the NFL. Upsets, of course, happen. I mean, a best example is this previous Monday Night Football matchup from once we ended up seeing the Falcons take down the LA Rams. A lot could happen. But again, I think it's fair for us just to understand and for us to accept the fact that Duval, and yes, I'm saying it the exact same way as Liam Cohn. Liam Cohn has honestly been able to reshape how you pronunciate that war cry based off of how successful that he is. Jaguars it is. But anyway, guys, let's go on ahead and bring in our good friend Coldfront to continue this conversation. We're going to talk about what challenges all of these teams potentially bring. I think we'll focus more so on the Pats and the Jacksonville Jaguars and just have some general old playoff talk. Perhaps I'll even sort of light up a Q&A segment. Without further ado, let's let in our good friend Coldfront Buffalo. What's up, man?
Dan, how are you, sir?
Oh, man. I'm living the dream, brother. I'm living the dream, dude. I am trying to. How was your holiday season? What are your plans for New Year's Eve? Talk to me.
Holidays were good. Christmas was good. Always a little too short. We don't do anything. I'm like you. I'm probably in bed at 9:30 tonight. We don't have anything planned. My wife, Mrs. Coldfront, is actually kind of laid up with the flu right now, so we don't really have any plans whatsoever. Probably going to play.
Like, that shit's been going around, bro.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Like, that shit's been going around. Everyone I know is sick right now.
Yeah. It's me and the boys are fortunate right now to have evaded this flu thus far, but the odds are probably not in our favor. It's probably just a matter of time at this point until we get it. But no, listen, exciting week. I cannot believe A, that it's going to be 2026 tomorrow already, and B, that we're in week 18 of the NFL season. I remember the Baltimore game like it was yesterday in week 1.
Snap of the fingers, dude.
Just like that. But exciting times for sure.
Exciting times indeed. Funny enough, man, right now I'm seeing a Texans fan and a Jaguars fan just go at each other's throats right now in my live chat. It's week 18, dude. It's week 18 right now, and we have actually recruited not only Jaguars fans, but Texans fans are also in here, just going on ahead and just going at each other's throats. It's a beautiful thing. I love it.
See some Trevor Lawrence talk. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, the more the merrier, right? Congratulations, by the way, Dan.
Thank you.
You hit your number, 50,000. God bless you. That is fantastic.
Thank you, bro.
The next number is 100, I'm sure. Quicker
I hope so, man.
Game, I hope. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, you know what, man? My 2026 goals, 100K on YouTube. We're going to have to do it. Folks, so do me a favor. Smash that like button. And tell a friend. How about tell a friend about the show? You know what I mean? We're going to get to 100K. I promise you. We will. But yeah, it's funny because you and I, we were talking prior to the show last night. And you were like, hey, man, like, we're going to be talking about this Jets game. And I feel like you and I were on the exact same page. I was just like, I will be completely honest with you. I haven't looked at a single advanced analytic on this game. I haven't put any effort into previewing this, trying to craft keys to victory. I suppose I could if people wanted to understand how our backups could somehow still beat the Jets, which I think is a possibility. But that's not top of mind to me right now, because the biggest debate, had it on the show yesterday, had it on the show on Monday. Your perspective, what would you like the front office and coaching staff to do in regards to our starters? Would you like them to see some action? Would you like them to see virtually zero action and put health at the forefront? Or would you really like for us to go out there and, like rally up some points and hope somehow, some way that we could potentially get the 5th seed? What are you thinking?
I don't think the 5th seed's going to happen either way.
No.
So I don't think that would be the goal if the front office does decide to put starters out on the field for any length of time. I don't think it's because we're trying to get the 5th seed. A lot needs to happen, and a lot of things that probably won't happen. However, I will say this. There's a balance between the front office and the coaching staff and the players.
Mm-hmm.
The players are going to want to play football. That's what they do. That's
Absolutely
what they want to do every week. They get one day a week to do what they love to do. They're going to want to play football.
Yeah.
I don't want them to play football. However, there's a couple of things that I wouldn't mind, and I'll give you my excuse, I guess, as to why it wouldn't surprise me if we have more playing time for the starting roster, starting lineups than we would like. Number one, James Cook deserves that rushing title. We should know what Jonathan Taylor does, because I believe they play at 1 o'clock and we're at 4:30 this week. We got kind of flexed at 4:30. I think Jonathan Taylor, is 47 or 50 yards away from James Cook at the moment. So hopefully he just lays an egg against Houston, and we don't even have to worry about that, or puts up 15, 20, even if James Cook needs 10 yards, he can play for maybe a series. But I think that's going to mean something for that offensive line, to James Cook himself, and to the Bills front office. Secondly, as a player, I didn't play football, but I think I've mentioned to you, I played minor league baseball. So I played a low-level professional baseball. There is such thing, Dan, this is what I worry about. There is such thing as the last time you were on the field, you miss a 2-point conversion to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Josh Allen looked as mad as I've ever seen him look that I can remember coming off the field after that missed throw. And that being the last taste of football you have before you go into a playoff game. Mm-hmm. So I will say, I think there's something there to be said that these guys might be fighting tooth and nail with the coaching staff, saying, get us in there at least for some time commitment to allow us to get that shit out of our mind, put something a little positive on the football field. How long that is, I have no idea, but I do think that we're going to see a little bit more of them than I would actually like, if I'm being honest. That would be my guess, is we're going to see them for longer than I would like. I'd like Josh Allen, like you said, to go out there, take the first snap, hand it to Ray Davis, by the way, not James Cook, Ray Davis, and then jog off the field. Yeah. I think we'll see more than them, unfortunately, and I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of outside factors. I hope that they don't go about it this way, but all we can do is put ourselves in the shoes of the ones that are in charge and try and align exactly why they would have the starters out there. Number one, maybe a couple of guys are chasing incentives. Maybe they want to do right by their guys. And they're just like, we're going to go on ahead and just hopefully put up, 21 in the first quarter against the Jets. Let James Cook get his rushing record. Let a few more guys end up try and get some of their incentives. Number two, and I hate this. I really hate this, because what's important to me is that we go into the playoffs with a full bill of health, something we haven't done. We have not done that under the McDermott era. We have not had a full bill of health going in, and injuries continuously pile up as the playoffs progress. I think they might also put into consideration the fans, since this is quite literally the final game at Highmark Stadium. This is the game where the red helmets are coming back. I think they might put that into consideration as well. And then number three, like you alluded to, maybe they want this team to have a little bit of confidence, right? Because that was a heart-wrenching loss this past Sunday, like based off of it. Like we saw Josh miss a throw that he makes 9 times out of 10, or excuse me, 99 out of 100 times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if they do play more than we want, it's going to be because of one of those 3 reasons, perhaps all 3. All I'm asking is dude, like here's why I hate it. And people are like, yo, it's football and injuries happen. You need to understand that this Jets team, yes, they suck, right? They do. I genuinely believe that they are tanking, at least from a coach and front office perspective. But something a lot of people don't talk about, Week 18 injuries are crazy, especially when you're going up against teams that are just fighting for it, because you see a lot of defensive players that are fighting for a roster spot in 2026 going out there. The last thing I need is one of our key offensive players lining up against the guy that has no idea what his future is going to look like in the league or even on that team in 2026, trying to make a name for himself, trying to make a big play, going way too overly aggressive, and boom, okay, for the 5th year straight, we're going to be going out without Matt Milano into the playoffs, or we're going to be going in with Christian Benford banged up and nowhere near 100% in wildcard weekend. But it's, I suppose we'll hear from McDermott today and we'll get the final answer, or at least a couple of more clues.
Well, I certainly hope we get an answer. And I forget who it was. I think I was actually listening to Ryan Fitzpatrick and who's the guy that he's with in his podcast? It doesn't matter. Ex lineman.
Yeah, former offensive lineman.
Yes.
And would chat and let us know.
Yeah. Somebody tell me who this was. But I was listening to them yesterday, actually, and he made a great point. As far as the players are concerned, he was in this situation throughout his career a couple of times, and all that he asked for as a player was to shoot me the truth immediately. Don't say, either tell us we're playing or tell us we're not. Don't send us out there and say, we're going to give you, a few reps or a couple of drives and kind of leave it as a question mark. As a player, tell me that I'm playing or I'm not playing, and let me either go after it or know that I'm sitting. And he also said, when you do as a player, here we'll give you guys some run and we'll figure out how much run. That's when injuries occur as well, because you don't know when you're coming out. You don't know how much effort you should be putting in, and you don't know what the mindset of the coaching staff in the front office is at that moment in time. So I hope we do hear from McDermott, whether it's a yay or a nay, whatever the answer is. I hope we hear from him and get that answer soon. I do remember distinctly last year, to your point, when Benford was out against the Kansas City Chiefs and Kaiir Elam got absolutely torched up and down the field all game. They threw to no one else other than whoever he was guarding that night, and it really reared its head. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying we have a Kaiir Elam right now on the roster that plays football, but I totally agree. Having someone banged up, especially if it's one of the top-tier players, an impact guy, would just be catastrophic, because either one of these teams that we do play, we need everybody. We need to be full health. I don't quite care who we're going to play. I think we will play the Jaguars. I think especially your chart here that you see, the numbers tell us that that's most likely who we will play.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. I think we match up quite well against either one of them, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, me too.
Whether it's New England or Jacksonville, I think we have a pretty good matchup, and I would be relatively darn confident going into either one of those locations. If, like you said, if we're healthy. If we're not, well, then you can throw everything out the window, and who the hell knows? I, too, looked at travel plans to Jacksonville, by the way, already.
Oh, you did? Oh, nice. Well, say that's the case. We definitely got to get up and have some dinner or something like that, man. Some food across those areas. So how I'm looking at previewing these games is really going off of like what this Bills team's strength is, right? And based off of what our weaknesses are and trying to put it out. And how I look at both the Patriots and or the Jacksonville Jaguars, their run games don't scare me. Their rushing attack doesn't particularly keep me up at night at all. And you can say, oh, your rush defense, this team has really been able to find answers in previous weeks whether or not that it's in the second half or whether or not that it's against running backs like Saquon Barkley. You can talk about week 1, Derrick Henry. You could talk about Bijan Robinson, week 5, week 6. You could talk about a couple of like fringe plays where like some backs like had their way with us. But that was largely when I think Buffalo was really experimenting with their run fits. Once we found out Shaq Thompson was your Mike, with Matt Milano's out there playing like at a full bill of health, no one's talking about how good Matt Milano has been. He's been wonderful. Same thing with Deion Walker. He's been a force, at least on the interior side of things. Both the Jaguars and this Patriots team, outside of a couple of explosive runs. Some fans might be like, what are you talking about, man? I saw a 60-yard run from somebody. It's like 5% of the overall snaps. I'm more concerned about how they are consistently at that. And then something that's even more intriguing, why I think that the Patriots would be the way easier opponent, and maybe not even so much easier. I looked at where the New England Patriots are in a second half offense for points per game. And I got to tell you, they are 19th in the NFL at 10.8 points per half. The Buffalo Bills are putting up a crazy second half point differential right now, plus 110. While the Patriots, I believe, as of right now are, let me see. Right now, this Patriots team, I'll go ahead and I'll do this real fast. Offense by quarter, first half in points. New England's number 1, but they're number 19 in second half points per game.
Okay.
No run game, an offense that completely just stymies out during the second half, at least from a points perspective. Perhaps no Stephon Diggs, like more and more stuff's coming out about that right now. No Matt Collins, potentially no Stephon Diggs, even if he is out there. He's been a head case his entire career. Like, you can't tell me that that's not going to affect him, at least in the slightest.
Yep.
I feel like the Patriots, I feel pretty good about that. But like then, like with the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're way more consistent offensively. They are in the top 10 in both first half and second half scoring.
Okay.
But with all that information, you have anything else to add here?
I think that these statistics, these metrics that we look at get a little sometimes tainted when it comes to how good these offenses and or defenses are. And I only say that because the Bills offense is not like any other offense in the NFL. So we ran for 150, 160 against the Cleveland Browns when everyone said that's the greatest defense, rushing defense on the planet. I think you and I both spoke about Cleveland prior to the game, and we said, I think we can run the football. We ran the football against the Philadelphia Eagles. We threw the football. Now, here's the thing. The Philadelphia Eagles have probably, some can argue, the best defensive backfield in football. Well, Josh Allen threw for 265 yards, did he not?
He did.
Did we run for 130 or so? Yes, we did. And it was freezing, sleeting rain. I know the elements played their part, but I'm just saying that I think that the offense is tough to put statistics against when you're talking about other defenses. Hence the reason why I'm not scared of any one of them. I call me crazy. I'm not. I think this is the year that Josh Allen needs to do what he needs to do. I think he has all the pieces that are there. We can say what we want about the wide receiver core. I don't agree with almost any of it. Would I like a big-time wide receiver one? Yeah, of course, that'd be great and fantastic and all this other stuff, but don't really care. He's got the weapons. He's got the best offensive line in football all around, almost number 1 in rushing and passing linemen. He's got, in my opinion, the best running back in the NFL. And he's got enough receivers at mind you, the best tight end crew as well. Okay, so like the list keeps on going on. Brandon Cooks just showed out. If that boy does what he just did, a few nights ago, and we get Dalton Kincaid healthy again, there is no reason and zero excuses that any one of these defenses stop the Buffalo Bills offense, other than just bad play.
For sure.
Zero excuses. And that defense is playing, dare I say, lights freaking out. Dan, real quick stat for you that I could not believe. My jaw dropped this morning. Okay.
Please.
This is next gen stats. All right. Team.
And so did you tweet it?
What's that?
And so did you tweet it?
I did not. No. I was just looking at this morning. Well, You tweet it. You know what? That's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
yards after catch over expected allowed for the NFL. The Buffalo Bills are minus 20. This is Pat's defense, minus 25 yards. They're the only team in the NFL that have given up less than expected yards after the catch. For as bad as a tackling team as everyone perceives the Buffalo Bills, they literally the only team that have given up less yardage than expected after the catch. I read this and it blew my mind. You're talking the Cincinnati Bengals at a plus 593. They're the worst. The Buffalo Bills are minus 25 yards. The only team, the second best team, is plus 60. That blew my mind.
Minus 25. So tackling apparently doesn't seem to be an issue, or we have ultimately ended up fixing it.
Well,
in the pass game,
the only thing is the tackling pass game. Yes. So obviously the rush defense and its woes that we've had over throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the missed tackling must be coming. Well, and the tape in the film shows this. That's where the missed tackling.
It's Bosa mostly. It's Bosa mostly.
It's Bosa and Terrell Bernard.
Yeah. They have been the two biggest Achilles heel. And while I hope Terrell Bernard has a great recovery, I don't think we see Bernard for the rest of the year. Yeah.
I keep saying this, and I feel so bad because I actually like the guy as a human being. He's given me no reason to not like him, right? As a dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know him, but he played pretty poorly again last week, did he not? Like, I saw him miss a couple of tackles, even against Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if he's the guy. I think that Dorian Williams is stepping the hell up more than I would have ever expected, if I'm being honest. I think Shaq Thompson, Matt Milano, and Dorian Williams, and we're set if they're healthy.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
we just extended Bernard. Who's going to take that contract? I don't know.
Yeah,
4 years, 80 million, wasn't it?
Yeah, neither do I. But one thing too, like when it comes into our offense, and like people act like this is the worst offense in NFL history, but like when you look at this right here, minus the New England Patriots putting up like 40 on a awful New York Jets team last week, this Buffalo Bills team was the best scoring offense in the AFC, like by a pretty significant margin. Like we were second to Indianapolis. But where it stands, this Bills team is at 27.9 points per game, meaning that we're probably the best scoring offense going into the AFC side of things. Every other team that's above us, Dallas, Detroit, Seattle, and the LA Rams. And the Rams are only at 30.1. So like literally we're a field goal away, like one more field goal away from the highest scoring offense in the NFL. So I'm liking it. I'm really liking it.
I'm with you. We can complain all we want. It is what it is. We're putting up points. The defense seems to keep coming up with stops when they need to, making their adjustments in the locker room during halftime. I do feel, and I'll say this, we need to play a full game in the playoffs.
That's important. Yeah.
Like you can't go into New England expecting to come back from being down 24-7 again at halftime in the playoffs or against Jacksonville. I don't know. I think we're going to play Jacksonville, and I think we set up very nicely against Jacksonville. They rarely sack the quarterback. They get pressure on the quarterback, but they rarely sack the quarterback. They don't complete those pressures. They have a solid defensive backfield, as do the Philadelphia Eagles. And if we can tear them apart in the sleet and rain, I don't see why we can't put up big numbers against their pass defense as well. And they're mediocre from what I see statistically against the run.
So funny enough, I had my buddy Antoine on yesterday. He's a former defensive tackle in the NFL. He played for the Broncos. He grew up in Buffalo. He's a big Buffalo Bills fan. And I asked him that question. And I said, look, I could maybe find an answer for defenses having a slow first half because they're trying to understand what this opposing offense's best pitches are so that they can adjust appropriately.
Yep.
And he had a pretty interesting answer. And also added some pretty interesting context about injuries, which we'll end up getting into later. He said, maybe you just need to take a closer look at things that the Buffalo Bills do on an undisciplined nature from the first half going into the second half. You notice that some offenses, like, they're just not completely changing everything offensively. For the most part, those same themes are still there offensively. But he says, like, maybe, for example, like, there's minute execution issues. Like, you're seeing a guy maybe like have a key drop, or like you're putting yourself in absolute awful penalty situations during the first half. He said, think about it. How many times in the first half have we remembered where this team looks like that they're trying to operate on a drive, but at one point this Buffalo Bills team had a 2nd and 15 attempt or a 3rd and 20 attempt, like, going into it. He thinks that the problem with our offense is not particularly play calling. It's not particularly that we just save it all for the second half. It's just very minute execution issues that could quite literally go either way, and or key discipline issues that end up putting the Bills in less than favorable field position. And I think that kind of clicked for me. I was just like, maybe it's not that the offense is anemic. It's more so that this team has a discipline issue when the game first starts, putting ourselves in awful positions once the game begins.
I like the take. I can see
so maybe this isn't too crazy, and maybe this does kind of go into it, because it's not like Buffalo for the most part is going goose eggs in the first, but this might play a little bit to his take. In 2025, the Buffalo Bills offensive penalties are distributed as follows. 55.17% of all of the penalties have been called in the first half of the games.
Wow.
44% are in the second half.
I mean, that's a decent jump there, for sure.
Yeah. And people are just like,
digressing.
I mean, really, Dan? Like, that's like 11%, right? Is that really the reason why our offense is stymied? But then I ultimately end up going back here, and I'm like, okay, like, we're the best second half scoring offense in the NFL. I'm going to go total offense or offense by quarter, etc. First half, the Buffalo Bills, even in the first half, 11.8 points. Okay. But then we end up going into the second half where I'm pretty sure we are 16.1. So 5 points. I think we found our answer. I think we found our answer why our offense can't get going in the first half. It has everything to do with we lean toward being a way too undisciplined team during the first half of the game. That's the fix for a consistent offense in my eyes.
I can't disagree with that if the numbers are showing us this. Now, are you saying discipline only in the penalty game, or are we thinking, because where my mind goes is, are we thinking that potentially Josh Allen is looking to be maybe a little bit too aggressive and see how this game flow is going to go?
Yeah.
Too early.
Yeah.
And then when he has to, and our backs are against the wall, which seem to be relatively often in the first drive in the third quarter, it's almost like a scripted drive, and it works consistently. Doing what we do best. Staying ahead of the chains, taking what the defense gives us, getting to 3rd and 2 instead of 3rd and 9, check downs, the mesh concepts that everyone hates, the bubble screens that everyone hates that just seem to keep on working, to the tune of 28 points a game. Or do you think it's just strictly penalty discipline?
No.
Or a little bit of both?
So I think that, like, so there's no hard and fast reason, meaning that like 100% of the reason is why our first half offense is struggling. I think it's a culmination of everything, but I do think that the penalty side of things, like, because we have regularly been in 3rd and long situations that were self-inflicted wounds. I also think that it goes into Josh Allen big play hunting. Maybe there's something about him that's super competitive. Like, he sees an offense march down the field with an opening scripted drive, and he's trying to like make bigger plays than what he should. But then, funny enough, like, when you see us orchestrate these comebacks, it's when he gets back down to earth and he starts taking like, oh, okay, yeah, like, my team's a really good yak, like, type wide receiving room or receiver room. Let's lock that in. So if I had to account the reason for our slow offense in the first half, I'd probably associate 60% of it penalties, 40% of it with this offense and personnel execution issues. That's where I'm at.
Okay. I like what he said, and I like what you're saying here, and the statistics, you can't lie about that. I think I'm looking here, and we are averaging, we're 13th in the league with a little bit over 6 penalties a game. Does that make sense? Are you seeing the same type of thing?
Yep.
We have toned it down a bit in the last 3 games, 3.7. And then in the last, at home, it's about even. Yeah. Okay. So we're just about middle of the pack there with penalties a game. So if you do 10%, you're almost talking about a full penalty per half, or a full penalty more in the first half than the second. And if that's a 15-yard penalty, or even a 10-yard penalty, and you're at 3rd and 20 instead of 3rd and 10, that could absolutely mean that 5-point differential that you're talking about, or 6-point differential that you're talking about between the first and second half. One penalty can do that.
Exactly.
Drive killer. So I totally agree with that. To the people, I guess what I'm saying is in response to the people that say, "Oh, Dan, it's only 10% difference." Well, one penalty.
So the difference rate between our
enormous.
Exactly. So the difference between our first half and second half offense, points per game wise, is literally 5 points.
Right. How about a kick return penalty that is only a 10-yard penalty, but we end up returning the ball to midfield, but the penalty was on the 25, so we go back to the 15. Even though it's only a 10-yard penalty, that's really a 35-yard yardage difference in terms of field position. That's enormous.
So now I'm going. All right. So now I just asked it to include special teams penalties.
Okay.
When we ultimately end up getting that. I'm hoping for narrative purposes that this gets closer to 60%, which I think.
My point is, Dan, did that not just happen on a kick return for us against Philadelphia?
It did.
Yeah, and we started on our own 15 instead of midfield.
Exactly.
You can't tell me that one penalty is not an enormous problem. That makes that makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm curious to see what that is. That what that Sumer brain thing, right? Yeah, I'm curious to see what that'll tell you once you add in special teams.
Special teams first half is 59.49% of all special teams penalties are in the first half. Only 40% of special teams penalties are in the second.
Okay. There we go.
Collectively, once you end up putting in special teams penalties, it's 60-40 for all offensive and special teams penalties combined. 60% are in the first half, 40% are in the second.
There you go, Dan. A special teams penalty is the worst penalty on the planet. So everybody can just shut their mouth that says that 10% more in the first. I'm totally on board. Who was this? Antoine, you said yesterday? I remember that conversation. Great point. Great thought starter there. And now you look at the statistics to prove it. And I wish that Sumer brain can tell you, maybe it can. It's AI driven, right? Maybe it can. Here's my distincting factor. So on the special teams penalties, not only what were the yardage in terms of penalties, but how much yardage did that change the field position for the Buffalo Bills or the defense team?
So maybe maybe something we could put in is the average starting field position in special teams first and second half of the games.
Well, yes.
Is that how we ultimately end up putting it together?
Well, I'm looking more specific. I guess where my mind goes is, where would the field position be versus where it is when there's a penalty on the special teams? I'm just thinking of a kick return where Ray Davis receives that ball on the 3, let's say, and runs the ball to midfield or our 45-yard line, right? Mm-hmm. So we're supposed to have 1st and 10 on the 45. But that one additional penalty that we're talking about per half brings that ball back to the 15 because the penalty occurred on the 25. Holding on the 25 during the return. Bring it back to the 15 because it starts on where the penalty was. So not only did we not get the ball on the 45-yard line, we're starting our drive now on the 15 because of that said penalty. That's a 30-yard swing on a 10-yard penalty. Those 30 yards, even if it happens once a half, I guarantee you is your 5 points a half.
Your 5 points. That's the
you get
secret.
What I'm saying? Yeah, right. Yeah, we figured it out, buddy.
We figured it out, folks. We got the answer. We've got the answer, ladies and gentlemen. Damn.
There it is.
Clean up your shit, folks. Clean up your shit, Bills. All right? Like, we need
That's
you to
right.
play disciplined football. The key to a consistent offense is disciplined fundamental football, baby. Look at that.
Thank you.
It's not scheme.
It's
It's not scheme. It's not us sleeping in the first half. It's self-inflicted wounds, the trend of the 2025 season. I'm pumped, man. Dude, we have uncovered so much on this show right now. It's
the answers. They're all here. They're all right here. It's very, very simple, people.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
Only messing around.
And so, all right, folks, we would love to transition over to a Q&A segment. As always, so I can easily decipher between people arguing amongst themselves in the chat and people actually directing a question to myself or Coldfront, please label appropriately with either a Q for a question or an S for a statement in which that you would like us to address and or answer on air. We have a couple of super chats that we got to get into. I agree wholeheartedly. This is a get healthy game. If Mitch leads us to a victory, great, but who really cares? Rest those ankles, knees, etc. Carl's coming in. He's dude. He wants to see Mitchy Biscuits in the red helmet, my friend.
Biscuits, baby. Let's roll.
Yeah, dude. Listen, I would love to see a Mitchy Biscuits type legacy game out there. Give me a garage beer right now at 11 a.m. Your guest is making me want to run through a wall. See you in Santa Clara. Go Bills. Richie Fresh, it's my guy. Dude, slam some garage beers, man. Proud partner of the show. Drink garage beer over here, folks. We love it. First question coming in from my buddy Spidey. And do y'all think Keon will have any role in the playoffs? Great question. Say that there's desperation, then yeah. Say that, and I'm going to knock on wood here. If one of our guys goes down, yes. If not, probably not. Probably not. I think we've probably seen some of the last snaps from Keon Coleman. Maybe, I guess, and depending on a particular matchup, maybe we might see him out there, but it's pretty clear that this organization has moved on from him. What do you think, Coldfront?
I believe that I may be the biggest Keon Coleman fan out there.
Good.
The first video that I ever made doing this, which was only 5 weeks ago, was about Keon Coleman and the lack of respect that I think that Keon Coleman has received. I showed multiple examples of film showing how he was actually open and didn't get the targets. Anyway, I agree with you. I don't know that we see Keon Coleman again in a Bills uniform. In this household, this Coldfront household, is going to be extremely sad the day that I see a tweet from the Buffalo Bills PR saying we have released Keon Coleman or we traded for, I don't know what they're going to get for, draft stock for him. But just the way that it's gone, the reality is I don't think that he's going to play much of a role whatsoever, although I'm the guy that would love it more than anybody if he did. I think the reality is he probably will not play a role, especially if Brandon Cooks is going to have games like that. And I personally feel that the man that needs to receive targets now when playoffs come is number 14, Terrell Shavers.
Yeah.
Get that man the football. He's earned it. He's deserved it, in my opinion. Enough hiding the guy. Great job by hiding him, I guess. Line him up tight. Run blocking. He's doing a great job with that. If he didn't do so well, run blocking, I think Keon Coleman would have had more run because that's one of his biggest qualities is his run blocking. But Terrell Shavers has stepped up and done that, and I think Terrell Shavers is our dark horse in the playoffs.
It's the same thing with Gabe Davis, too. Same thing with Gabe Davis as well. Yep. I thought that I heard something about that Curtis Samuel might even potentially be off of the IR and come back to the playoffs too. I'm not excited about it, but just something I feel like you guys should know. That is a rumor that he could potentially be elevated again. I suppose we'll hear from McDermott here within the next couple of days, if that's even something this Bills team would like to do. Dude, listen, I really think that Keon Coleman, it's not particularly that, and that I think that he's reached his ceiling. I think that the issue that Buffalo has with him is his immaturity and his discipline issues. I think that's the issue, truly. Especially with like him missing meetings,
Yeah.
I'm not
Dancing on the
sure how he
field
acts
when
in
he's a healthy
practice or
scratch.
something along those
Yeah.
lines. I'm sure we'll hear more down the road, but it's more of a disciplinary issue, and a non-culture fit is to the reason why I think he's not playing.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that's largely what we're looking at. Tyler's coming in saying, who do you think the Bills will sign back, David Edwards or Connor McGovern? It's a great question. That's a really, really, really good question. It could be a coin flip in my eyes. What does Buffalo think of Cedric Van Pran Granger from Georgia, who we drafted a couple of years ago? I think that we're going to get a good understanding of how he plays tomorrow when we're going up when we're playing the Jets. It's not like Buffalo has ever really made any true left guard type draft selections in years past. And yeah, I don't know, man. Say that it was up to me, I'd probably re-sign Connor McGovern. I'd probably let David Edwards walk, and I'd probably put left guard in my you better draft a left guard within the first 3 rounds of the draft, like next year. So what do you think, Coldfront?
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I was nodding my head listening the whole time. McGovern is the more integral part, and I think, quite frankly, he's playing better. If we look at even just last week, I know it's only 1 week, small sample size. The guards were the people that got beat when we did get beat. Connor McGovern is somewhat of a glue to that offensive line, and I think his production level is higher than David Edwards. Would I like to keep them all? Yeah. I mean, the best line of football. But they're going to have to get paid, and if we have to choose between one and the other, I'm with you, Dan. Easy for me is Connor McGovern.
Yeah, it's got to be Connor McGovern for me as well. And so funny enough, one of the biggest narratives this year is like, oh my God, like with Josh Allen, like he was sacked quite a bit, right? Like he was sacked 40 times. And one thing I always like pointing out was that a large majority of those, at least based off of several sources like FTN, Sumer Sports, had quite a bit of those on Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. And by on Josh Allen, meaning where he took sacks, where he held on to the football too long, or he didn't throw the football away, or he ran into sacks. But last Sunday was the worst performance from this O-line all year. All but one of the sacks were on that line.
Oh,
and the interior guys were
fumble must have been on Josh Allen.
Yeah. That one where the one where he ran backwards for like 30 yards, that was credited to him being his fault. But every other one, say that you wanted to be mad at the offensive line, and the only game that you quite literally should be mad at them was that Philadelphia Eagles game. But then again, it's Jalen Carter, folks. It's Jalen Carter, man. He's probably one of the best like linemen in the league where it stands right now. So it's just, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do at the end of the day? Rynell is coming in. Hey guys, and do you think we should start taking the ball first? Let's put the D on the field with a lead. It's like even at the stage of the game, we are worried about the second half. Let's win now. I don't know, man. Like that's interesting. It's probably going to be an unpopular take, but I feel like I kind of would prefer having the ball at the second half. Say that we win these coin tosses, especially with how good we are during like that second half. We just got to clean up some penalties and like we just need to have this defense just roll out and like make adjustments sooner than what they do. I'm fine with the defense making adjustments on the second drive or the third drive, all right? But like not deep into the second half where this team can rack up, 10 to 14 points or something along those lines. Thoughts on that strategically, Coldfront? You want us to keep on having the ball at the second, or what do you got?
Always, and I don't think I'll ever change my mind on this. I want the football first possession of the second half always. And I think it's up to the coaching staff and quite honestly, the offensive unit to have, I guess, buzzword of the day, discipline enough to understand how to be the last team with the football in the first half. Mm-hmm. We're constantly here in this household when we're watching football, and I'm trying to teach my guys this. possession of the football and clock management, time management, timeout management is extremely integral when it comes to understanding you should have the last possession of the first half and the first possession of the second half. And even if you're down 4, 5, 7 points, if you have the ball with 3-4 minutes left in the second quarter, you should be okay with this offense, especially a team that can run the football the way that the Bills can, because they can understand how to manage that clock and drive clock down. I always revered Andy Reid and his ability to never allow the other team to get the last possession of a football game and or a first half. He was so good at that, using his timeouts and taking time down to the last second. So I agree. Give them the football, defer to the second half, always get that ball out of halftime, and just make the adjustments in the first half and play a full game. And then when you get the football, it doesn't matter.
When you get the football, it doesn't matter. Damn, man. Damn, that's a beautiful thing. We have this right here. Dan, what do you think would be the outcome if we meet the Texans in Houston during the playoffs? I have PTSD from this year's game and don't want to repeat. So my eyes is this. It is very difficult to beat a team twice, especially outside of your division. It is very, very difficult to do that. I think this defense would definitely still present some challenges. I still think that the game would be a relatively low-scoring one, especially in Houston. Say that they were coming up the cold old Buffalo, then I think this game would be completely different. But with home field advantage, their defense, I think that we would definitely see some challenges. But I do trust this coaching staff into making some appropriate adjustments and making it a different outcome, because this defense is so good. This defense is so good, Coldfront, that currently where it stands, they are the highest ranked team in DVOA, in total DVOA in the AFC. Highest ranked. Problem is, why they are the highest ranked is because their defense is so generationally good. They have something like the 22nd ranked offense in the NFL per DVOA and per most metrics. CJ Stroud is, average. And for the most part, like, this offense can't score points. They can't run the football. Yes, you have Nico Collins, but they struggle consistently getting downfield. Would definitely be a challenging game. It would be the one game I want to avoid the most, but I would take the Buffalo Bills. I would.
Totally agree. 100%. I'm not even worried about the offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, and the line coach making the adjustments to keep them off of Josh Allen. How often did we run heavy personnel in that game? Why we didn't make that change mid-game, I don't know. I don't see that happening again. And I don't know if you remember, I think you and I spoke before that game, maybe, even if I think we did.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think we
both said, I'd rather CJ Stroud be playing instead of Davis Mills.
Mm-hmm.
David Mills, whatever. I don't think Stroud is any good. And we only lost a football game. It seemed like it was an absolute, complete disaster, just like the first loss to New England this year, and we lost by 3 points or 4 points. Yep. You turn the ball over 3 times, you lose by 3 or 4 points. You should have lost by 14. Okay, exactly. So I wouldn't be that nervous if I am you, Shizoid. I can't pronounce that. Sorry. I wouldn't be all that nervous. Do I want to play them instead of the Pittsburgh Steelers? No, of course not. But I wouldn't be that worried if I truthfully, I think we can make those adjustments relatively easy, and I'm not scared of CJ Stroud in that offense at all.
Yep, me too. We have Nate's coming in. What do you think the Bills' kicker situation? Since the release of Michael Badgley, a kicker has not been actively present on the Bills' roster. Prater and Bass are out. Who will fill in? Has Prater been officially named out for Week 18, Coldfront? Or
no?
Have we heard that?
I don't believe so. I heard McDermott on Monday telling us that Prater was going in the right direction and he should be ready to go this weekend. Yeah, that's what I heard McDermott out of his mouth.
Yeah,
I don't think he's been rolled out.
So it's Wednesday right now. Haven't heard an official he's going to be out. And when he first suffered the injury, we heard that he was going to be out literally that Monday. Based off of all the sentiments, barring a setback from Prater in practice, I think we're seeing Prater on Week 18. I think.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. But if you're not sending your starters out there, then Ray Davis will probably kick, if I'm being honest, even if Prater's not ready to.
Yeah, dude. Let Ray Davis kick. Yeah.
Honest to God.
Dude. Like, this game should be a backyard. And so this game should be a backyard football. This game should be backyard football, basically.
I agree. Totally agree.
Dan, what do we do with Cook and the rushing title? Does that matter to the team? I don't know what the team is prioritizing right now. If we see Cook out there, I think that's the reason why we see him out there, is just because I think that they want to give James Cook the right to get that rushing title and to get it. But luckily, so the Colts and the Texans ultimately end up playing a game before us, right? And if Jonathan Taylor can't get 50 yards against the Houston Texans, which is not crazy to suggest, it's not crazy to suggest that he could be stymied of that, then, I mean, what's the point? No, James Cook, congrats. You won the rushing title with your rushing yards. Yeah, you're not playing. But say that Jonathan Taylor has him by 10 yards or 20 yards. Yeah. And just let him bust off the first drive. And so against one of the worst run defenses in the NFL.
Exactly. You 100%. I don't have much on that. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Get him the title. I don't think Jonathan Taylor is going to run for 150 yards this week. I just don't think it's in the cards. The Texans don't have all that much to play for, but they want to win that game. And that's it. That's it. James Cook, get him his title. Shouldn't be too easy or too difficult. And sit his ass down, please.
Sit his ass down, man. We'll prefer to be healthy for the playoffs. I don't, and clearly McDermott doesn't trust Badgley, and missing extra points and going for it on the 4th has cost us hard. Yeah. And that's why he's no longer on this team, right? And that's why Michael Badgley is no longer on this team. That was his problem in Indianapolis. That's why he was cut, was just because of his extra point issue. His field goals were decent, but his problems were extra points. Michael Badgley.
Yep.
What can you say? I have been saying this since the beginning of the season. Give Shavers the ball. He always looks so good out there. All right, guys, we're going to do a couple of one more question. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can get one from somebody. Oh, dude, shout out to my boy right here. Derek Moses is now a member of the channel. You're the man, dude. I appreciate that. How about this? UFC fans coming in. I just turned 40. I am recovering from my vasectomy, watching y'all, and my wife surprised me, taking me to Highmark Stadium for the first time on Sunday. Go Bills.
Yes.
Dude. Well, speedy recovery to you, my friend. Yes. Speedy recovery to you. And let me tell you what. What a day to go to Highmark Stadium for your first time. The final game. It is a cathedral of football greatness, my friend. I hope that you enjoy it. And thank you so much for the super chat. I know that you sent us one on 4th and Forever or the AFC East Roundtable, and we forgot to get to it. Some serious apologies about that. We are going to give you a shout out on the next show because that was awesome, and there's no excuse. We have to get to every single super chat. That is on me. Last question. Do we draft a good backup for Cook this year so Davis can stay as a return man? Don't think... Say that we bring in a running back. I don't particularly think that it's going to be within the first 5 rounds. I'm fine with a kick returner being somebody who is getting 2nd or 3rd most snaps within that room. If Ray Davis was our true RB1, then yeah, you're damn right. I would probably want somebody else filling in that responsibility. But not unless we're looking at a 6th or a 7th round pick running back just to kick the tires. I don't think that's going to be really high on the Bills' radar because Ty Johnson was signed to a 2-year extension this offseason. So he's here next year. So is James Cook, obviously. And Ray Davis, I believe, is entering his 3rd year on his rookie contract. So don't particularly think that running back is going to be on our radar for the draft this year or with free agency.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you get too close to another running back one, then you're almost starting a double-headed monster type situation, and I don't think that you do that to James Cook.
No.
I think James Cook's almost he gets better as the game goes on almost. He needs his carries. He's not a 10-12 carry guy and then splitting it, 10-12 carries to another running back. I would stay away from that if I wouldn't put capital into another running back.
Yeah.
Especially draft capital.
Yeah, me too. But Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the Dow Mafia Report. Super excited to understand who we're playing going into wildcard weekend. I'm going to be taking the day off tomorrow for New Year's Day. I'll have a couple of pre-recorded videos released today and tomorrow to at least give you a taste of some other conversations that we've had earlier on in the show. Say, for example, that y'all are watching the pre-recorded version of this show / podcast. I highly recommend that you turn on bell notifications because I would love to meet you in our live chat, right? There are a lot of you that just sort of tune into this on the pre-recorded side of things. I would love to actually meet you in the live chat and be a part of our live chat community that we have been building for so long over here on the channel. Coldfront, what do you got to say to the audience before we send them off?
Happy holidays, whatever happens this week. It is what it is. Just have confidence that the front office, the coaching staff, and the guys will be ready and healthy for first round of the playoffs, wherever it may be. And follow me too. Appreciate you, Coldfront. Appreciate it all. We're getting close to that 100, I think.
Dude,
50,000, like Dan. We're only 49,000 something away, but. No, in all seriousness, right. I appreciate everybody. We some people have started to comment and join our stuff too. I do a lot with my son, and it's been fun. I appreciate you. So we'll continue to do it. But happy holidays. Thanks, Dan.
So close, guys. 77 subscribers over here for Coldfront Buffalo, guys. Do me a favor. Go subscribe to my boy's channel. Get him over to 100. I think that we can do it.
Let's go,
right?
baby. 100.
I feel like we can get him over to 100 at least before the playoffs start. Let us know when you do. Yeah, let us know when you do. I'm going to go on ahead. I'm going to put this link in the chat real fast. Everybody's still watching. I expect all 400 of you to go on ahead and subscribe to this channel, okay? Help us out, and we appreciate y'all. Go Bills, and happy New Year's Eve. Make good decisions this evening. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Be safe.